Hi guys, I'm Kees Cornelis, also known as the Dutch Movie Guy, here today with the review for episodes 5 and 6 of Star Wars Rebels Season 4, called The Occupation and Flight of the Defender. Now, I initially thought that these were going to be two single episodes just released on the same day. I was wrong. It's an arc, once again, like all the episodes so far. Two episode arcs every week is what we get. And I'm actually really liking that. I'm liking the fact that they all tie together, because not only do the arcs have to do with each other, but it really, every time it also continues where the last episode left off. So that is what I noticed with The Occupation. It starts where Name of the Rebellion Part 2 left off, and you can really tie it all together. So far this season has been really connective, and luckily, thank God, no filler, because I actually went back to look at like what were the previous seasons like in terms of like the first 6 episodes. Was there any filler? Oh yeah, there was filler. Like the last battle last season was complete filler, at least to me. I did not really enjoy that episode at all, and yeah, it really seems like filler. In season 2 you have Brothers of the Broken Horn. Really useless episode. Not a fan. It introduced fucking Hondo, but Hondo in this show is not the Hondo that I love. I mean, he's funny, but I don't love him. So now we finally have good episodes and no filler, and I'm really liking that. I mean, yes, there are some kiddie things here and there, as I mentioned in my review for the last 2 episodes. And I will say, once again, like this episode has some puffer pigs. It has loth cats. Okay. Those are more for the kids. I mean, it's fun, it's nice, but it's more kiddie, and it's not really what I'm looking forward to in Rebels, of course. But, you know, it's in there for the kids because it's still a kid show. But I'm okay. I'm really okay with these 2 episodes in terms of like the kiddiness of them, because I think both of the episodes were really like dark and really showed some bad stuff. And while there wasn't necessarily all-out killing going on, there still was some pretty dark stuff going on, I think, because we go back to Lothal for the first time in a long time. I don't really remember the last time we were on Lothal. Somewhere in season 3, I bet. But the thing is, of course, after they lost the battle at Adelon, essentially the moment that they were able to strike on Lothal and they lost that battle and they lost a lot of people with that, yeah, they couldn't attack Lothal anymore and they had to do something else. And now, finally, we are going back to Lothal. And we now see that after a while being away from the planet, it has changed. The planet has changed, not for the better, or for the worse, because the Empire is in full control of the planet and has burned big parts of it. And the introduction to the planet in this episode was dark, and I was like, wow, they actually went there. Especially if you like consider, for the kids, like, Lothal is Ezra's home planet. Ezra is probably what kids look up to, at least I hope, because Ezra is not my favorite character. He's one of my least favorite characters of the show, because I don't think he succeeds as a protagonist. That's just me. But I think for kids, it's something, and, you know, if they see that dark, dour, burnt, it might not be the best image for them. So I'm happy that they are going there, because they do show the Empire's might. Because the Empire, as we know from movies and comics and books and just everything canon, is a force to be reckoned with, and they don't really care if they hurt other people with them, as long as they get what they want. Because at this point, they have made a factory on Lothal, a big factory, where they make weapons and vehicles, and the vehicles, well, one of them shown in Flight of the Defender, of course, a new type of TIE Defender. However, before I go into Flight of the Defender, I do want to talk about the Occupation, because there were some things that we've never seen before in Rebels. Most noticeably, the fact that they all have disguises. And those disguises, some stood out. some in bad ways, some in good ways. Probably the only one I really want to talk about is Hera. Because we've never seen Hera like this. She's always worn her pilot outfit, her pilot hat, because the first time we see her ear cones. Like, we actually see that she has ear cones, like any other female Twi'lek. But it's the first time we see it, and just for me, I noticed that. Of course, because it's Hera, and she's my goddamn favorite character out of the show. And, more noticeably, she looks kind of sexy. At least more than she usually does. It's not the sexy outfit that all the slaves wear, but then again she isn't, and that's against her character. But yeah, she has a different outfit that makes her reveal a little bit more, which was nice, I'd say. Sorry, I shouldn't crush this hard over her. No, but it was just interesting to see her, Hera in a different kind of outfit, everyone in a different kind of outfit, and Hera and Kanan almost kissing. Almost. Goddamn, couldn't you just have given us that? I don't know who's in charge of that, but please. Dave Filoni probably, or Pablo Hidalgo, just anyone. Make it happen, because at this point we know it has been building up since A New Dawn. In A New Dawn it was already hinted at like that is a couple, because they have chemistry, and in the show they have chemistry. It's like Kanan and Hera just have chemistry. They should be a couple. They are a couple. Just hasn't been shown yet, but show it already because we know it. I also thought there was some good, tense scenes in both of the episodes. Like, there was a good action scene in the sewers, which reminded me of Vision of Hope, the episode in season 1 where with Cole Travis and whatnot, because the sewers look exactly the same as in that episode. I thought there was a good action scene with the probe droids. It was thrilling, entertaining, good. And also, like, the moment that Ezra and Sabine sneak onto the base to get the flight recorder, I think it was pretty tense, at least for what they are able to do with it. It's not, like, the most tense thing I've ever seen, but they did create tension, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, let's keep watching, so that was good. Also, it was revealed Ryder Azadi uses a U-Wing, and the only reason I bring this up is because I love the U-Wing. I think the design of it is extremely clever, because it's essentially what they tried to describe it as was the U-Wing is essentially the rebels just having a few spare parts, putting it together and making a fighter out of it, which is the U-Wing. Because the U-Wing does look like it's just, let's put an engine here and there, and let's put some wings over there, and there, ship. Because rebels aren't that well equipped, they don't have a lot of resources, so from what they can do, they make a U-Wing, and I think it's a clever design, and I just love the design. I love the U-Wing, also the U's like in Rogue One, I already loved it there, and I love the fact that they have it in Rebels as well, because it all ties it together, and it makes sense, and I just love that. Now, in Flight of the Defender, what I noticed is that, in the occupation, it seemed that the entirety of Lothal was burnt and crap and dark and dour and whatnot. In Flight of the Defender, we actually see the good side of Lothal, the beautiful side of Lothal, and what I noticed is that where they are in Flight of the Defender, the location of the base is in the area of the temple that Ezra has, where he got a Kyber crystal, and where he of course met Yoda a couple of times. He took Ahsoka there as well. So it's like they are in an area with the Force, and that also introduces the Lothal. And the Lothal apparently has been extinct for a long time, at least believed to be. However, there is a Lothal that saves Ezra and Sabine, and this begs a lot of questions, like what is going to happen with that? Is that a connection to the Force? How is it a connection to the Force? And it just makes for interesting lore that I'm dying to find out, and I hope we get more of that, because it's interesting, it's good stuff that I really do want to see, and I think it just adds to Lothal as a planet, because it has been clear that Lothal has this connection to the Jedi, even though there's an imperial factory. But I think that's interesting, and I think there is a lot of potential in that. I just want to see where it goes, because we didn't get that much out of it. We just got hints. We saw the Lothal, but now the question is, where does it go? Can't wait to find out. And of course, the episode is called Flight of the Defender, so new TIE Defender, an upgraded TIE Defender with hyperspace abilities and whatnot. So I do like the fact that they are upping the attack on these fighters, especially if you realize, like, the Rebel ships are usually better equipped than Imperial ships, because like a TIE fighter doesn't have shields, doesn't have a hyperdrive, and the Rebel ships do have that. TIE fighter has other advantages, but just I've been studying a little bit into weapons and vehicles, so I know a little bit about that. And the fact that, like, the Empire is actually going into the fact that TIEs can have shields and hyperdrive and whatnot, that's cool. And it also shows that the Rebels know that, because the Rebels are yet to have a certain wing, certain fighter, that has been hinted at in the trailer. We saw it in the trailer that will get the X-Wing at one point. And this just, I thought they would take the TIE Defender, dissect it at the Rebel base, and like make an X-Wing out of that. It's not going to go like that, but you know, we're getting X-Wings, and that's going to be cool, especially when Hera is piloting them, because we saw that in the trailer, and I cannot wait for that. Anyway, that's just me looking to the future, because really I like these episodes. These are good episodes. Definitely not my favorite, but definitely not the worst or anything. Just good episodes. Continues the story, continues the season, and just I as I said at the beginning of my review, I love the fact that they are continuing the story every single episode, and that the next episode builds upon the previous ones we've had, and it all is tied together, and there's no filler. Like essentially Season 1. Season 1 had a little bit of that as well. And Seasons 2 and 3 had those filler types of episodes. And now with Season 4, we're back to hardly any filler. Some kiddie stuff, some not so great stuff. But for the most part, it's really good. Alright, so next week we'll have Kindred and Crawler Commandeers. I don't really know who's kin. In terms of the first episode, like, I assume it's family of someone. Could be Sabine's, could be Hera's, could be diving more into Ezra's thing, because now we've got the Lothal, and maybe that'll answer a little bit more about his heritage and whatnot. I don't know. At this point, it's just guessing. We'll see. Crawler Commandeers. Well, the Crawlers on Adelon, no. Crawlers. We'll see. I have no idea at this point. I'm excited for next week's episode. At this point, I'm just enjoying the season, and I'm looking forward to whatever they have next, because I trust them to have good episodes, and really the titles of these episodes don't really show that much, luckily, because they did in the previous season sometimes, that they have episodes that are titled in a way that I'm like, oh, this is going to happen, and I was right. And so far, you know, none of these have really spoiled, like Flight of the Defender, TIE Defender, that makes sense, but it's not really a spoiler, so I'm okay with that. And in the case of next week, sure, whatever, just show me it. I want to see it. Anyway, that is what I have to say. I wonder, what are your thoughts? What do you think of The Occupation and Flight of the Defender? Did you like the episodes? Did you not? Do you have issues with it? Please, whatever you think, just let me know in the comments below. Look out for my reviews next week, and all that's left to say is, if you've liked this review, and if you want to see more of my movie, trailer, reviews, reactions, all the stuff that I have on my channel, you can click right here.